Right guys, we're back again for another edition of Bears Corner. I'm with David, Scott and Josh again. He's on time this time. You know what it's about by now, we're not going to mess around. We'll just get straight into this week's games. This time, because we forget every week, we are just going to have a quick run through of what happened with last weekend's games, because I don't think we've done that so far. We never talk about it. I'm not going to go through each one, but scores are as follows. David and Josh had a good week with 8 points each. David consistent across the board again. Josh saved by a couple of correct results because he didn't get much else right. So, but it gets you the points. I had a lowly 6 saved, to be fair, late on with the United result, because otherwise I'd have been in real trouble. If Mark Noble had put that penalty away, I'd have been down on sort of 2 points, so that wouldn't have been great. And Scott just behind on 5. Poor week again, mate. A little bit saved you as well. The way that leaves the table, and put it up on screen just now. Scott propping it up with 23. No change in form for you since you had a decent first week, didn't you, mate? But apart from that, pretty shocking.
It's all downhill, isn't it?
It's all gone. Josh's good week. He's been slowly clawing it back up. Puts him joint second with me on 32 points, so that's nice and close. But David continues to extend his lead even further onto 43. So starting to dominate a little bit here, boys. So we need to do something about it soon before it gets out of control. Plenty of time though. Plenty of time. Let's get cracking into it then. I mean, there's some massive games, I think, this weekend, and they're sort of spread out all the way across. We're starting with a big one. Chelsea City, difficult one to call for me. I'll come to you first, Josh.
Man City haven't impressed me as much as they usually do. I don't know if it's because they've just not got that finisher. Yeah, so Man City have not impressed me. I just don't think they've got the finisher. Chelsea, obviously, once again, I'll just pick them up again. Phenomenal result against just a crap team on Sunday. So, I shouldn't say too much yet.
I was going to say, you caused yourself a problem here.
This weekend. But yeah, overall, I think Chelsea's going to snatch that. I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea.
2-1 Chelsea. I think quite quickly Chelsea have shot to my sort of fairly, not clear, but they're the best team about at the minute, aren't they? I think by a distance. I think they've got to be my favourites. City will do their thing where they go on and they win 15 games in a row or something like that, I'm sure, at some point. But yeah, Chelsea look the most balanced for me at the minute. Scott, do you agree?
I've got to try and do something to get myself off the bottom of the table, so I'm going against the grain a bit. 2-1 City.
Got 2-1 City. I may as well go next, but I mean, I've written down a bunch of scores again. We'll see how close I stay to them. I've gone one each, mainly just because I can't decide. Chelsea better team by far, but I don't think you can write City off just yet. And I sort of have a feeling that one or both teams might change a little bit for this game to sort of in awareness for each other, sort of thing. So I can see them cancelling each other out a little bit. Let's see what the actual result will be if we go over to David at the minute.
Well, I agree with Josh. I've gone 2-1 Chelsea.
Yeah, that was. I was always edging towards a Chelsea win, and I don't know. I've talked myself into a 1 each. We'll see, won't we? We've got all results covered there, boys. But I don't know if anyone's confident enough for a joker. Not early doors, anyway. Next one, then, United Villa. I may as well get us started. I've just gone 3-1 United. Probably doesn't need a massive amount of explanation. I think we'll concede because we seem to always concede, despite Varane coming in and looking pretty good. Villa will have a bit of a bounce about them, I think, but we nearly always beat the Villa, so I've got to back us to just outscore them really, and probably not play particularly well, but end up with a reasonably comfortable result. David?
I've got exactly the same as you for the exact same reasons.
Yeah. It's one of them games, isn't it? Josh?
Yeah.
It's a 2-0 Man United for me.
Clean sheet.
I think they'll just shut them out. I think Villa just don't know what's going on with them. You never know what you're going to get. The new Arsenal, I'd like to say, but
they're better than you.
said the new Arsenal. Yeah, 2-0 Man U.
Okay, Scott, round us off on that one.
Agree with you and David, but 2-1 Man U.
2-1. Same results.
All exactly the same reasons. I think Man U will play well, but I think Aston Villa will have a
It's
bit
going to
of
be. It was always going to be one of the ones that we agreed on. I thought Everton Norwich. I'll come to David first because he's a Rafa lover. I can't imagine any of us are going to disagree on the result for this one either. But maybe there'll be a surprise. But scoreline could be up for debate.
I've gone for a very. I don't know. Considerate on Norwich's part of only 2-0 Everton.
Yeah. I've done the same.
Gone for more.
I've done the same. I don't know what Everton's injury issues are. I know they had some. I don't know how long the various players will be out for. But Norwich they're just bad, aren't they? I can't see where they're going to get a win from. They will beat someone, but I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's early prediction. I don't think it's going to be this Everton side. I've got 2-0 as well.
Yeah, I've got 2-0.
Josh, anything different?
No.
2-0. Great.
2-0.
We can all completely ignore that game then, because it does not matter. This could be a tough one though. Scott, we'll come to you first for Leeds West Ham.
Purely based my decision off the back of the bet, I think this is going to be the highest scoring game of the weekend. 3-2 West Ham.
Antonio to get all three, yeah.
I mean, I can only hope.
Well, we're within a goal now, haven't we? Vardy got one at the
goal.
weekend, didn't he? So we're back within a goal. So it's going to be close. That I think. I've written that in Josh's spot. Unless you want 3-2 West Ham as well, Josh, I best change it.
I do not.
Good, I've crossed it out now.
I don't know. I think Leeds could actually get a result. I think West Ham played alright against Man United on the weekend, but again they're missing Antonio, I think. But Leeds, you never know what game they're going to be playing. I'm going to go for 2-2.
I've done the same. I don't know whether West Ham will have a little bit of a hangover from the United game, or whether, and obviously they've got United again tomorrow. I imagine the sides will all be pretty different across the board, but I don't know whether they're going to have a hangover from it, whether they're going to bounce back. And for me, Leeds just need a result, and they are capable. Obviously, they're a good side generally, and they need a result. But I don't think they're going to. I couldn't back them for the win, so. But I do think goals. So I agree on 2 each. David.
I agree with Scott. That'll be the highest scoring game of the weekend, but I think it'll be 4-2 West Ham. 4-2
West Ham.
Yeah.
No one back in Leeds. You watch it be 1-0 Leeds now. Leicester.
I'm happy with 4 goals from Antonio. To be fair, that'll do me.
Well, hopefully he plays in the week against United and gets injured, and he can score one if he wants in the week, maybe, because it won't count. So. This is another team that I don't think any of us have been able to read too well. I know David's probably done okay if I look back, but Leicester Burnley. We, like David pointed out last week, we all talk about Leicester and then contradict ourselves with the result that we pick. But Burnley look pretty poor again, don't they, Josh?
Yes.
That was the segue into I'm coming to you first without just saying. But well done for ruining that. That's fine.
Well, I just presumed it was because of the Arsenal game.
No, it wasn't actually, mate. But if you know, I'm trying to be like, you know, a bit more considerate of it. But if you want to go that way, then
yeah, it's a boring one. I don't like either of them, really. Leicester just not doing anything. Like, where's their mojo gone? But Burnley are just a rock. 1-0 Leicester.
Not much of a rock then.
No.
Okay.
Vardy might pop up by
Yeah, Vardy will pop up one. Yeah, Vardy will pop up one. David.
I just don't think he'll pop up for 4.
It's two quite poor teams at the moment, so I've gone 1-1. Burnley some sort of set piece goal or something.
Yeah.
Always happens.
We can just insert soundbite here for Burnley, can't we? With some sort of set piece goals. I'm along the same lines of both, but edging towards Josh a bit more. I've gone 2-1, purely because I agree with David that I think Burnley will probably nick a goal, but I think Leicester will get the result. And again, more for like the need. I think they need to get a result, and this is the sort of team that they need to get a result against. So I think they'll not find that mojo again, but I think they'll grind it out against a Burnley side that looks poorer than usual at the minute. Scott finishes off.
Agree with Josh. 1-0. Neither of them are really great sides, but I think Leicester will edge it. And unfortunately, I think it probably is Vardy that's going to get the goal.
Slight disagreement though with the draw, but probably not a Joker game either. Not much Joker fodder so far, guys. So. But I have a feeling that some might pop up in the second half of the games. Not one that I'm too excited about. We'll start with you, David, just because. But Watford, Newcastle.
I don't think anyone's excited about it.
I mean, to be fair, Watford, they're all right, but they don't strike they don't scream. I'm going to go watch Watford.
No, but
and Newcastle
they'll still win. So.
Yeah.
Well, I want to start by saying actually this is a history-making game in the Premier League.
Is it?
Did you know? Yeah. First ever overseas referee.
Oh yeah. There's
an
Australian guy or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is a bit weird.
That won't help Newcastle. So 2-0 Watford.
Scott, what are your thoughts?
I'm feeling a bit more positive about Newcastle, I think, than you are, David. I've gone 1-1.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
I've gone 1-1 as well, not because I feel positive about Newcastle.
They're just both crap. That's
well,
the issue,
I don't know if Watford are crap. I still don't. They're not good, but I don't know if they're crap. But it's just one of those games that's just like, yeah, of course it'll be a draw. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like one of those games. If you looked at the betting odds, it's one of those few where the draw odds are the same as or very similar to a win either way odds. I think I haven't checked, but I wouldn't be surprised to see that. Which way do you slide on this, Josh?
I'm expecting a couple thrown at me here. I think Newcastle 3-1.
Joker's out, boys.
Sorry.
Joker's out. This could be big. Josh he's gambled.
I have gambled. I generally got the feeling that Newcastle are going to pull it out of the bag. Watford are terrible.
3 goals.
No, Newcastle are also terrible. But
I can't remember the last time we scored 3 goals.
Yeah, 3 goals.
Yeah.
Have Newcastle scored 3 goals
let him have it
so far?
If you think he's that. If you
It's probably when they scored 4 against Arsenal to make it 4-4.
No, I don't.
If you think it's that mad, you've got your jokers, lads. You know what to do with them. If
unless someone says something absolutely ridiculous, that's the joker in it for me.
Yeah. Definitely.
I'll make a note, but we'll come back to confirm. But yeah, I have a feeling at least one.
I'll have a look at this.
I think at least one joker's going on that. I don't know what
I think David's still trying to figure out whether Newcastle have scored 3 goals.
This year.
Yeah.
I'll leave David to find that out. We'll move on to the next one, and we'll leave him till last. I don't know what to think of this one. I think we'll probably again it's another agreeing the result, but scoreline there might be some differences. Brentford, Liverpool, Josh. Brentford.
Probably said a lot. I've not written mine down this week.
No, it's the best way. I wrote mine down just before we came on, and I don't know. I'm not a fan. I might just have to carry on making them up.
I'm assuming Brentford's at home this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't impressed with how Liverpool played on the weekend, or midweek actually. So Brentford, because I'm going to go 1-1.
He's going for the draw.
Yeah.
He's going for the draw. Scott.
I've gone 2-1 Liverpool, but like Josh says, I think they've been poor. I just think they've they've been poor in comparison to normal Liverpool standards, but I just think they've got enough to beat them. If Brentford manage to scrape the draw, it's going to be that Ivan Toney carries on his form.
I know what you're saying. I've gone 4-1 Liverpool.
Jesus.
because they're just so much better. Now I do rate Brentford as a plucky promoted side. The manager seems like he's got a bit about him, but it's just one of them. I think it'll probably be tight for 75 minutes, and maybe Brentford go 1-0 up, but I think Liverpool will score 2 in 5-10 minutes somewhere, and it'll just drift away from them. So yeah, I think not necessarily that they'll play superb, and I don't think they'll dominate Brentford, but the goals will come at some point for me. So yeah, comfortable 4-1. Before you get your prediction, David, did you find out the Newcastle goal tally?
Yes, 6.
6. So there you go. It's only a 50% increase on the season's total. The more you get the grief out, but I tell you, this time next week, if Newcastle win 3-1, David will probably have a grin anyway. But Josh will be sat here with like 12 points from that one game or something, and he'll be buzzing. Brentford, Liverpool, David.
3-1 Liverpool.
Fairly comfortable.
Hopefully Tony will score because I've got him in my fantasy team. So.
Yeah, but ultimately Salah were the other 3 then.
Yeah, hopefully.
Another snooze fest maybe next one. Southampton Wolves. Can't see being a lot. I've gone 1-0 Southampton. Don't really know why. Just sort of felt like I don't like picking 0-0s because. A goal can always come from somewhere, can't it? And I've just sort of picked who I think are slightly better at the minute. Southampton, every now and again, I do see like a little glimpse going forward. Generally, just when you're watching Match of the Day or something, so it's not a massive truth that you're looking at. But there's just a little glimpse of a couple of players. Livramento is that the fellow plays down the right hand side. Looks a little bit tricky. I think there's a goal in it for one of them, and it could be either one. But I've just flipped a coin in my head and gone Southampton. What do you think, David?
Well, I went 2-0 Wolves last week and they let me down, so I've gone 2-0 Southampton.
Revenge pick. Scott, what do you think?
A bit like you, snooze fest of the weekend, but I don't mind picking a 0-0.
It's gone 0-0. Josh?
2-1 Wolves for me. I actually think it'll be quite a good game. Boring game, but quite a good game, if that makes sense.
No, it doesn't. Doesn't at
all.
It doesn't, Explain yourself.
It'll be scrappy, but then there'll be a couple of good goals, and it'll just be rubbish, and then it'll just be end to end. I think Wolves will nick it 2-1.
Okay, fair enough. All results covered there as well. So what turned into what started as a overly agreeable week. There's quite a few little exciting disagreements here. So it's one way or another that table's gonna change. For Josh, game of the weekend, it's definitely up there.
Is it?
Of course it is. It might have dropped down a tier, both teams, but it's still it's a derby, isn't it? So North London derby, Arsenal, Spurs. I'll leave you to last this time, Josh. We'll let you stew on it. Scott, will come to you.
I'm feeling hopeful actually for Arsenal. I'm sure Josh will be pleased with that. I'm gonna
not if you're picking it, mate.
Oh yeah, that's true. I'm gonna go 1-0 Arsenal. So they're definitely gonna lose.
Yeah, that's the nail in the coffin for Arsenal. David?
I haven't got anything written down for this because I could not pick a winner essentially. Can you skip me so I can think about it?
Well, I've got mine. I had a similar thing to you. It was difficult, and it's not just in times gone by. It'd be because it was like a derby, and one team might be in form, but it goes out the window or whatever. But both are decent. Blah blah blah. Just think they're both quite poor. Spurs are a better side than Arsenal. Put that spoon away. Spurs are a better side than Arsenal, but they're not at the minute much better, if you know what I mean. I think their ceiling's higher in terms of what they can be on their day, but something's wrong. Kane's clearly not at it. I'm sure he will be at some point, but I think he's probably going to have a disappointing by his standard season in terms of like a goal tally. Certainly if they play him out on the left anymore. Although to be fair, for a little while that did look like it might work, and I could see what he was going for. But yeah, him and Son have got to find their link again. I couldn't split it. I don't know why. I've gone 2 each. I started off with 1 each. But I just think, it's a derby in it, and a lot of the time, I think they'll find a bit of goal scoring form. I think there's going to be some mistakes from both. So yeah, 2 each. David, back to you.
Oh, I'm going to regret this. 3-1 Tottenham.
3-1 Tottenham. Josh won't be happy with that, mate, because David's been in form. So, not. I'm suggesting that this has an impact on the on the universe and football.
Well, the teams watch this and listen to me, and then they play out those results.
Yeah, although, like I say, Josh had a couple, so Josh is bound to.
We're going off your logic, Rob. You're saying that Chelsea will lose a game, Norwich will finally get some points, and all that kind of stuff. So David's eventually got to get something wrong, and hopefully it's going to be that game there.
No, he doesn't get them all right. He just gets more right than we do, which isn't necessarily a difficult thing, but.
Yeah. I am inclined to lean towards a 2-2 as well, but I don't want to. So I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal. But yeah, I can see them fucking getting a 92nd minute equaliser or some shit. So.
No, you sound unhappy. You sound unhappy, mate. So, do we need to have like a little catch up on Sunday evening, just to make sure you're okay, or?
Yeah, we'll see. That's what I hear, I think.
And then
I'm off on the Monday, so.
So either way, that's a good thing.
Yeah. So.
And then after looking at that, I thought that's a good weekend, and I was like, no, that's only 9 games. There's a Monday game. I mean, talk about an anticlimax of football. We've got Palace Brighton on the Monday night. I've gone 1 each just because I think this could have been my 0-0. Brighton again playing really well, and Palace, I don't know. I'm being stubborn and still saying they're poor. And to be fair, Eduard last week looked like a donkey at times. So I think he's going to be one of those that he's going to score a decent amount of goals for him, but he's going to miss some chances as well. And to be fair, he was a bit like that for Celtic. But you can get away with it, can't you? Because you're going to get chance after chance, sort of thing. So yeah, 1 each. It's just one of them. And Monday night after that sort of decent weekend of football, yeah, 1 each. Take your pick. I'll leave it to the floor. Whoever starts talking first.
I will go 1-0 Brighton.
Yeah, I've got 1-0 Brighton.
Yeah.
I've got the. They'll sneak one in, 1-0.
They are the better side, aren't they? But yeah, there you go. I'm contradicting myself again, but.
So yeah, final game.
It's one you're going to forget it's on, aren't you? It's going to be one of those ones. It's going to be, oh yeah, there is a game on.
Yeah, 100%. But I think Palace actually might sneak this at 2-1.
Josh is pulling out it's like you're baiting, mate. You've got the hooks out for all these jokers that you're going to try and
I picked 3 odd results, and so there's 1 joker each. It's fine.
Well, this is it. We've got to come back for these now. There are probably a few options. Well, there's definitely technically a few options, and there's probably. I suppose it depends on your opinion. Has anyone got theirs picked out?
Yes.
Yeah.
And which one will that be on,
take a guess.
David? So I assume the 3-1 Newcastle is going to be targeted pretty heavily here. So David's going. He's playing his 2-0 Watford to the 3-1 Newcastle. Scott, are you joining him on that?
Yeah.
But you're backing your 1 each. Okay. I'm not going to. Not because I think Josh is right, but I just, if ever it happened, I can't give him that many points. I just can't. I'll go the Liverpool draw on. Do I want to do it? Yeah, I'll go the Liverpool draw. It's a big long arrow I've got to draw now, but I've got the Liverpool Brentford 1 each that he picked with my 4-1. I think I'll go a little bit safer.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so extra eyes on that Watford Newcastle game then, because Newcastle burst into a 2-0 lead or something, and then Josh is, he's going to get excited.
I've never had so many viewers before. I have no idea. I think you've all been boring. I think. What was Scott Swan on one of the first 3 of his games?
2-1 City, 2-1 United, and 2-0 Everton.
No,
risky to play it on the City. Have you got something in mind, or you just want me to read off Scott's results?
3-2 West Ham.
You went 3-2 West Ham.
3-2 West Ham against. Who was that against?
Leeds. You went 2-2.
You went 2-2.
You went 2-2.
No, you went 2-2.
Yeah, all right. Fuck it. Do that.
It's only a goal in that between your scores.
Did anybody go Leeds win?
No.
Okay, we'll go for the 3-2 then.
Gone for the 3-2. Hoping for that draw.
Well, do Scott off that sort of thing. Make it more interesting.
Well, let's face facts. I mean, now that me and David have picked the same one as the Joker, Newcastle are going to win 3-1, aren't they?
I don't know, mate. I think that'll cancel each other out there. David's Jokers have been all right, and yours have been pretty tragic in helping David with his lead. So they might cancel each other out there, and it'll.
To be fair, I'll be more than okay with giving him my points if Newcastle win 3-1.
This is the thing, is that I won't. So if you guys give him 9 points, he's on the same level. He's on the same points as me. I probably won't score 9 points across the whole week, let alone from one game. So yeah, I'm going to have to be back in. Watford in that one, I think. So, anyways, guys, 11 points between the top and the rest of us, and then another 9 down to Scott, who's all by himself there. So big week needed from you, Scotty. Otherwise, more of this, and you're going to get cut adrift.
I thought you were going to say relegated.
Yeah, you're going to get relegated to Division 1. You're going to have to do one of these by yourself.
Yeah, it's just me and a Discord on my own.
Not even on record.
Yeah.
Not even on record. Update on the bets. We mentioned the Vardy Antonio one. Vardy's clawed it back. I think it's 4-3 now, is it? In favour of Antonio. Callum Wilson got any, David? No, still on the treatment table. That's fine. Yeah. Josh, I'm still waiting for you to conjure something up, mate.
I was actually in the bath and I was thinking about it.
Yeah, alright, yeah.
And I generally do think Aubameyang is going to start scoring.
Okay.
So I would like to enter the race I think he's only on 1. I think.
Yeah, how many? I think it's probably 1, yeah.
Yeah, I think
I'm not sure I'm okay with this race, because worst case scenario, it cost me a fortune.
Well, it depends who he's betting against.
He's 100% about to say Antonio.
Well, to be fair, I was going to go against both of you.
Okay. What, for Aubameyang to outscore Vardy or Antonio?
Vardy and Antonio.
What are we saying? And, or are we saying separate side bets? 2
separate ones, or one bet.
Whatever.
Well, is he gonna? Do you win the bet if he outscores both, or is it separate? If he if he outscores one, then that's fine. You
one win, one loss. Yeah.
Up to you, Bear. I'm happy to join. Make it a 3-man race, and then the pot's of £100 instead of being 50. Or I can enter in with both of you separately.
But then how does that work with if there's 3? So is it the lowest scoring one that pays out to charity, or just the one, or just the 2 that don't win? 2 that don't win is probably fair.
Two that don't
win
is the fair.
If you enter the race, and whoever scores,
whoever gets the most goals wins, don't they?
Yeah.
So the other 2 lose.
So the other 2 do the payment to charity. Yeah. 50 quid per pair. We'll leave Wilson out of it, David, because I don't think David would be interested in getting involved with Callum Wilson in this.
Not going to lie to you, David. We'll probably give you the whole of the Newcastle team if you wanted to join.
I won't be doing that.
Still wouldn't score enough.
Not this weekend though. Exclude this week because you're going to score 3. So that'll catch you right up.
Anyone interested in me entering a Ronaldo to the race? No. Probably not. Yeah, probably wise. That's it then, guys. I think if there's nothing else, I'll catch you all later, guys. If you enjoyed the video, do the thing down there, the bells and the likes and the sharing and all of that nonsense, and let us know in the comments how stupid you think we are, and all of that stuff, because there are some potential silliness coming up with some of these picks, my own included. We've got to try and gamble a bit to catch each other up, and I think it's genius or stupidity on these. So do let us know. Otherwise, we'll catch you next time. Bye.